Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of The G.R.O.W Show, your daily checkup. From the neck up, Kyle Evans coming to you here today. Guys, we are in the week of tactical sales. Last week, we laid the foundation with our mindset. This week, we're diving into tactics, into actions, into things that we can employ into our businesses to become better converters, better closers, and eventually, at the base layer, better servants to the people that we're looking to help. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle. It's the first 60 seconds. The first 60 seconds of a conversation. Here's why it's important, and we sleep on it. Because most sales conversations are decided before the product is ever mentioned. One of the things we've heard in the past is most battles are won or lost, right? Before the battle ever begins. Almost the same thing here. Most sales are determined before the product, before the thing is ever introduced. Not consciously, though. Neurologically. Here's why. Studies in behavioral psychology and communication are very clear on this. They say that people make their own micro judgments of trust, of competence, of authority in under a second. Woof. In under 1 second, someone is already surmising your capability. They're surmising if I like this person. They're thinking, hey, do I even care what's about to come out of this person's mouth? Long before logic enters the fray, your tone, your body language, your pacing has already established that connection. This is an uncomfortable truth. Because most deals aren't lost in the close, they're lost in the opening. Why don't you put that in your pipe and puff on it for a while? Most deals aren't lost in the close, they're lost in the opening. Today is about the first 60 seconds, not scripts, not language tracks, not clever lines, but presence, framing, permission. Because the truth is, before a single word lands, something else happens first. Our nervous system introduces itself. A lot of times, people don't necessarily hear your confidence, they feel it. You guys know this. You've been in conversations with people, introduced to people, and you feel their confidence level. You feel their maybe authority. You feel if they're settled or if they're scattered, if they're grounded or if they're just frazzled. You feel if they're a leader. This is why, Lord knows this is a fact, this is why two people can say the same words, the same lines, the same phrasings, and get drastically different results. In my house, and I'm sure in yours, you know this as well, we have a saying, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. When you look at the research on this, vocal perception shows that slower pacing, fewer words, and downward inflection, that's a big one, downward inflection, consistently signal authority and competence. This is tough because I can become a naturally fast speaker. Also, sometimes I can overtalk. One of my mentors has said many times, don't say blah, 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 where blah will do. Guys, faster speech, upward inflection, especially at the end of sentences, and over explaining oftentimes signal uncertainty. Even if your content, even if the substance of what you're saying is solid, those are triggers to signal uncertainty. Here's the trap. Most salespeople, regardless of the industry, prepare what to say. They know what they're going to say. They have the logic down. They have the pitch down. They have the components of the product, but they rarely regulate how they say it, how they show up. So when the stage lights up, breathing shortens, heart rate rises, their voice, their vocal cords tighten, words start stacking. All of this before the prospect has a reason to trust us because of our actual product. Their nervous system is already deciding not to trust us. The first 60 seconds, it's not about persuasion. It's about proving that you're safe to listen to. It's about proving that you're not a threat, that the things that you're saying are trustworthy. Because every single prospect, every single customer, every single client is asking one silent question. Why should I give you my attention? Why should I give you my attention? Most salespeople answer that question, that silent question, with information, with credentials, with explanations. But attention is not always earned through information. Sometimes, sure, but the majority of the time, it's earned through clarity. You guys got to know this. You think about this yourself, like audit yourself on this. When you're relaxed, you know who you are, you know why you're here, you know what's about to happen next. When you're confused, when anxiety is high, decision making is low. Confusion creates resistance. Confusion creates resistance. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, clarity creates safety. When you're speaking to new prospects or potential clients or potential customers, your opening shouldn't wander. It needs to land. So what I'm going to give you is a tactical approach. Take this out of theory and put it into practice. Give you a tactical approach to think about it. GCRP. GCRP. Greeting, context, reason, permission. Greeting, context, reason, permission. Nothing extra, nothing defensive. Your greeting should ground the moment. Hey, Susan, it's Kyle. Not rushed, not overly warm. That's a trap that most people fall for. Not overly warm, not rushed, just present. If you sound like you're interrupting, you've already lost the frame. In the first couple seconds, if you sound, your tonality, your pacing, your over greeting sounds like you're interrupting, you've already lost the frame. So that's the greeting, the context. Keep it stupid simple. KISS. Context explains why this conversation is happening now. Hey, Sarah, it's Kyle. I was reviewing our conversation from earlier this year. That's it. I'm circling back with you. Just following up. Hey, Sarah, it's Kyle. Listen, I was reviewing our conversation from earlier this year. Context lowers threat. Context adds clarity. Why am I here? Hey, you're here because I was reviewing our conversation from earlier this year. It answers the unspoken question automatically without being overtly salesy. Why are you calling me? Very simple. So we got our greeting. We've given context. Now let's give reason. Hey, Sarah, it's Kyle. I was reviewing our conversation from earlier this year and wanted to reconnect around where things landed. No pitch, no high pressure tactics, no outcome yet, just simple direction, just a simple reason. Then we're going to move into permission. This is where leadership goes. This is where leadership shows up. This is also where a lot of people go wrong. So after we've got the greeting and established context and reason, when we move into permission, the wrong way, in my humble opinion, the wrong way or wrong thing to say is now a good time? Is now a good time? Hey, I just wanted to see if. That's you seeking permission to even exist. Like that's not good permission, in my opinion. I think clean permission sounds something more like, does it make sense to talk to this now, or would another time be better? Hey, Sarah, it's Kyle. Listen, I was reviewing our conversation from earlier this year. I wanted to reconnect about where things landed. Does it make sense to walk through this now, or would another time be better? We're not begging for time. We're offering structure. Follow this. Apply the specific tonality and confidence. Don't over-explain. Don't rush. Offer a greeting. Offer context. Offer reasoning. Offer confident permission. We're not begging. We're bringing value. We're coming from contribution. There are 3 leaks that I want to make sure you plug. The first one, as you've heard me say, is over-explaining. Don't say blah, 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 where blah will do. There's a guy, my friend Cameron, in Midland, Texas. Shout out Cameron. He says, if you got to sell me on it, it's probably crap. If you got to sell me on it, it's probably crap. The first leak that you need to plug is over-explaining. If you need to justify the call, you probably don't believe in it. The second leak that I desire you to plug today, and this one's very difficult, at least for me. I don't want to put a frame on you. Nervous urgency. Nervous urgency. Fast talk can feel productive, but it can more often than not come across as fear costumed as enthusiasm. First, we're going to work on our over-explaining. Second, we're going to work on our nervous energy. Slow down. Slow down. Third, the final leak to be cognizant of, to be aware of, is approval-seeking language. This is a biggie. It might sound something like, I just wanted to, I didn't know if maybe those phrases, they don't sound kind, they sound unsure. And that's where most people go wrong. When they lead with phrases like that, they think that they're coming from kindness or being pleasant. But in fact, what it sounds like is a lack of confidence. It sounds like uncertainty. And uncertainty does not feel like good leadership. Let's make this concrete. if you're an agent out there looking to follow up with a buyer. Hey, Frank, it's Kyle. I was reviewing our conversation a few weeks back about your timeline, and I wanted to reconnect around where things landed. Does it make sense to talk through steps now, or would another time be better? No chasing, no pitching, just leading. Nobody wants to be told what to do, but everybody wants to be led, especially from confidence. I need you to start getting 1% better in some of these things. This isn't rocket science, but because of its simplicity, we often overlook it. Because of its simplicity, we don't always give it the time, the focus, the practice that it's due. P.S. This doesn't just show up in your business. Learning how to be a better communicator, learning how to work on your tonality, your pacing, and your confidence shows up in your interpersonal relationships inside your home, with friends, with your community. This touches every spot of your life. Ignore it at your own peril. The choice is yours. All I can do is shine some light on it. You can choose whether to see the light or not. I hope that you do. So if I have you buckling up, raising your hand, here's your work for today. I gave you an example of an opening. I want you to write yours. I want you to write yours. Remember, greeting, context, reason, permission. Blah instead of blah, blah, blah. Write one opening. Then I want you to record it 10 times. During the recording, listen back to them. I want you to listen for your pacing, your breath, your upward inflection. Pacing, your breath, your upward inflection. After you've written it out, after you've practiced it, after you've watched the tape, now I want you to go implement it. I want you to go use it live. Use it 5 times. Don't tweak it yet. Don't improvise. Confidence doesn't come from creativity. It comes from the reps with awareness. Run it 5 times, then look at the results. Objectively. What happened? How did it go? More often than not, sales done right, in my opinion, it's not about sounding impressive. It's about sounding settled. Inside of your home, inside of your relationships, inside of your business, calm is contagious. Calm is contagious. Be calm. Clarity disarms resistance. I trust this was a helpful 20 minutes of your morning here for your checkup from the neck up. Tomorrow, we're going to move into discovery and control. We've got the first 60 seconds. We understand our greeting. We understand our context. We understand our reasoning and our permission. Tomorrow, we're going to move into that discovery phase and how to control and lead a conversation, how to slow it down, how to ask questions that create clarity, that create movement. An important piece in how to stop rescuing discomfort before the truth actually lands. But that's for tomorrow. Today, we fix the opening. Confidence doesn't start when they say yes. It starts when you speak. And if you don't have it when you speak, they ain't ever going to say yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for spending your time with me this morning. Go out and make it a great day. And I will see you bright and early for our next episode in Tactical Sales Week tomorrow morning.
Grow with Kyle Evans.